Hey guys, welcome to Video Game Corner. It's me, Jason, and today I'm doing my first official vlog called Jason's Vlog. And it's just going to be me talking about just stuff going on with the show, stuff going on with me, you know, and just little things going on. So, first thing I want to talk about is the sale is running for a couple more weeks, so make sure and get your orders in so we can go ahead, so I can go ahead and get them out to you before Christmas. If you don't care about Christmas, you know, wait till last minute if that's what you need to do. That's fine too. Also, if you guys are having problems with you need to pay after the sale, just as long as you get your order in before the sale ends, I'll honor it and I'll let you pay after. Just let me know. Just talk to me and we'll work it out. So, because doing a sale, the whole point is for me to make money, and I'm not going to turn money away, so just let me know. Also, I recently got some interesting news from the doctor. You know, as you guys know, I had a heart attack a couple months ago, and it was scared the crap out of me. And I was talking about how I've switched back to eating, you know, unprocessed meat, just eating a lot of meat and no vegetable oil, just eating, you know, butter or even lard if I fry things. Excuse me. And everyone's saying, you know, you're crazy, Jason, what are you doing? You know, and I can't eat fruits and vegetables because I do have the oral allergy syndrome. My body thinks fruits and vegetables are bee pollen. So, and I guess supposedly there's fruits and vegetables that can actually kill me, even though I haven't found them yet, obviously, I'm still here. So, I went to my doctor and I told him about, you know, all that stuff I was talking about a while, you know, when I had the heart attack and I was explaining, you know, the different types of way I ate. Because in the past, I said, doctor, I said, about a couple years ago, I tested this, and I said I ate nothing. And this is that, for those of you who haven't heard me say it before, if you eat nothing but meat, your cholesterol drops. It doesn't go up. It's like a myth. And I told my doctor this, and he says, no, that can't be true. It can't be true. So I said, well, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you my cholesterol results. So he tested my cholesterol. They didn't even test my cholesterol in the hospital, and he was like, why didn't they do that? They just automatically assume you have high cholesterol, which is ridiculous, because, you know, not every heart attack is caused by high cholesterol. But they didn't even bother to test it to make sure, to find out what's going on. They're prescribing me cholesterol medicine, which I wouldn't take. I don't like taking statins. That's what they are. Statins are what they make, you know, Lipitor and, you know, Crestor and whatever else Tor out of. And I won't take them. And I told my doctor that I don't like taking them. And I said, and I was telling him, and he wouldn't really listen to me, so we tested my cholesterol, and this was 2 weeks after the heart attack. A month later, we get my result, I get my results, and he says, it's kind of high, and I said, okay, well, can we see the numbers? He prints them out. And they look at three things on your cholesterol, your LDL, your HDL, and your triglycerides. I don't really know exactly what they all mean. I do know that LDL is like your bad cholesterol, your bad part of your cholesterol, even though they're proteins. LDL too high is bad, HDL high is good, and triglycerides you want them between 0 and 149 or 150 actually, or whatever. And as long as they're under 150, you're okay. My LDL was 178, which is really, really high, but this is 2 weeks after my heart attack. So obviously all that crap that caused the heart attack that I was eating was definitely still there, but I had changed my diet. Here's the thing. My triglycerides were 85 and my HDL was 54. Now, HDL, they want it over, according to the paper, it says over 39. But they prefer it at about 50, so I was actually higher, and I'm curious to see how it's going to be in a couple weeks. It seems like I just started it. See, that was a 2-week span that I had actually been, you know, so I changing my diet, so I don't really, it's too early to tell. The thing is, I started telling my doctor about this Atkins documentary I saw from the BBC. It's actually on YouTube, and I'm going to put the link in the description for you. And I was telling him about, there were these two doctors in the 80s that were trying to disprove the Atkins diet. and they had a control group of people who were on low fat, low calorie, your traditional diet, and then they had a group of Atkins dieters, and they were doing everything. The Atkins dieters were losing about the same amount of weight, which is funny because later on in the documentary you find out that Atkins dieters eat about the same amount of calories as a regular dieter because protein curbs your appetite, which is pretty cool. Now here's the thing that they were so sure was going to be high was the cholesterol. So they go in to test the cholesterol. It's lower than the low-fat dieters. And they were like, what? What the heck's going on? I tell my doctor this. He's like, what? He says, can I get some information? Are these guys published? I said, I'm assuming they are. I said, I'll get you the information. I'm going to make a copy of the documentary. I'm going to bring him a bunch of information because he seems to be interested in it now, which is pretty cool because a month ago he wouldn't even listen to me. So, and he says that because my LDL is high, I said, so what I need to do is bring my carbs down, right? And he says, yeah. That's how you bring your LDL down, is you lower your carbohydrates, your sugars. Has nothing to do with your animal fat. It's the part of your cholesterol that has to do with eating too much sugar, is what he was telling me. He says you got to eat less sugar and carbohydrates, and that'll bring that down, and your cholesterol will be fine. Because my cholesterol, because the LDL was high, I don't know if I said it, my triglycerides were at 85. I don't remember if I said that or not. I know I talked about the HDL, but yeah. The LDL was really high, but here's the thing. He says I'm not in a dangerous level yet. He says I am high, but I got to change it, which is fine. We knew that. My total cholesterol is 249, which is high because you want to keep it under 200, around 200 or lower. And I knew that, but here's the thing. Last time I did this, I took my cholesterol from 300 down to 201 within a month of just eating nothing but meat, and it was all unprocessed meat with eating a lot of butter and baking and a lot of lard. If I fried in lard, if I did anything like that, which I don't fry too much in lard. I use it once in a while, but I mostly use either butter or I like to bake. Actually, I use butter for like breakfast foods like eggs and ham or something, and then if I make bacon or sausage, I just fry it, by itself with nothing because it's got enough fat in it. But as far as dinner, I usually bake stuff. I like baked foods with like seasoning on it. That's what I prefer. But I don't eat much processed foods. I keep that at a bare minimum. But I told my doctor, he says, yeah, cut your carbohydrates down, start getting those out of your diet, and your LDL should drop. He says, you're not at a point where you need to take medication. He says, you can, but I know you don't like to take it, so you don't really have to at this point. You're not, in any danger. According to your numbers, you never really know if you're in danger, but according to my numbers, he's not too worried. He says I just need to bring it down. I'm curious to see, because he wants to do my cholesterol after 3 months, so we've got another month and a half before I test it again, and I'm really going to push my diet with a lot of meat and a lot of fat, and we'll see what happens. And I could be wrong. Last time could have just been some sort of weird fluke, but we'll see. And it's interesting. And everyone says eat the Heart Smart diet, no fat, no this, no that. I haven't been doing it, and my cholesterol seems to be coming into line a little bit, but the LDL is really high, but he's saying cut your carbs out and you'll be fine. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been eating a lot of, like for Thanksgiving we made ham instead of turkey, and I've been eating a lot of ham and eggs lately. And I really enjoy that. I love that kind of food. So, but otherwise, that's pretty much it. And like I said, I'll put the documentary link in there. You guys can watch it and see what I'm seeing, what I'm going to show him. Also at the show, I got some donations. Some friends sent me some stuff, and I did a trade. Let's looky-see here. I got a couple of Super Nintendo games from my friend in Southern California. He sent me Gun Force for the Super Nintendo. It's a shoot 'em up, or a run and gun. Which I guess would be kind of a shoot 'em, but not like a real shoot 'em up. It's a run and gun game. Goof Troop, which is a cool Disney game. I love the Disney stuff, the Capcom Disney games. In this game I got, which is pretty cool because I have 2 copies of this game, just the disc only. He sent me it with complete with the manual, which is Soul Reaver 2. And I love the Legacy of Kain series. I prefer the Soul Reaver side of it, which I think Soul Reaver stuff is awesome. And I love the 2 Soul Reaver games, and I love the third part, which is Legacy of Kain Defiance. It's like a merging of the 2 games, the 2 sides of the series. There's 5 games in it. You got the Blood Omen and then the Soul Reaver. And I really liked Soul Reaver 2. I thought it was really good. I liked Soul Reaver 1 too. Those are really good games. And I always said God of War ripped off Soul Reaver. And everyone talks about, it's a God of War ripoff, but Soul Reaver had a lot of stuff in it that God of War ripped off. Then if you play Rygar Legendary Adventure on the PS2, God of War is similar to that also. But everybody wants to rip off God of War because it's famous. Everyone wants to say it's a God of War ripoff because it's famous, but I always say if it's good, it's good. But anyway, and I also got Dragon Quest VI on the DS. He also sent me this. Now here's the thing about Dragon Quest VI that's interesting. They made they made a Super Nintendo version, Super Famicom version in Japan for Dragon Quest 5 and 6. They did 1, 2, 3, and then 5 and 6. I never know why they didn't do 4. I would have loved to have, Dragon Quest 4. All they ever did Dragon Quest 4 was on the Nintendo and the Famicom. It's weird. But they did 5 and 6 on the Super Nintendo. That's where they came out at. Now, we've got reproductions of 5. We've also got reproductions 1, 2, and 3. We've got reproductions of 5, and we have reproductions of 6, but it's not fully translated. For some reason, it hasn't been fully translated. I don't know if they're having problems. They just haven't finished it over the last couple years, or if it's something like there's something problem with the hacking of it. They can't hack it or whatever properly. Because I do know there's like a 40% version that people get, and it's not, complete translation. And then there's a 90% translation, but the game freezes and shuts down. So you got to save constantly. So it's great for an emulator, as long as you save regularly. You could go back and, play the parts over that were messed up. And it's not, because it's not like a certain part. It freezes in different parts just randomly, I guess. But if you get a reproduction cart, it's a little bit difficult to, do that. You got to be real careful, and that could be that could be really frustrating. So hopefully they will get it fully translated eventually, and we'll actually get a reproduction. But I was missing the only 2 games I'm missing or 3 games I'm missing is 10, of course, because we haven't got it done yet. I'm hoping we get it for the Wii or the Wii U eventually, and I would get it because I do like Dragon Quest. I've been playing 9 off and on for the last 6 months. It's one of those games I play whenever I'm in a Dragon Quest mood. I need to finish it, but I got Dragon Quest. The ones I'm missing is 6 because I have 1 and 2 reproduction, and I have 1 and 2 original NES, and then 3 and 4 original NES, and then I have 5 reproduction for Super Nintendo. And 6 I didn't have, and now I have it at least for the DS. I have something, and I'm also missing 7 because I have 8 and 9. I'm missing 7. I can burn it for my modded PS1, so I can at least play it. But I really want to get a copy of it eventually. And when I was in Arizona visiting Ace Salieri, they had one there for like one of the stores we went to, and I think it was $60 or $70, and I just didn't want to spend the money for that. I wanted to spend that $60 or $70 on other things at the time. So, but it was pretty cool just to be able to finally see one in person. It's the first time I've ever found one. I also did a trade with one of the YouTubers. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's called Hadamana or something like that. I'll put a description I'll put a link in the description. You can go check out his channel. I don't know if he has a channel or not. Anyway, if he has a channel where he does videos, I'll put a link in. If he doesn't, then thanks. Thanks, Eliza. I think his name is Eliza. I sound like a complete jackass right now. I'm sorry, guys. I really apologize if I got your name wrong. But we traded. I gave him a River City Ransom, one of the River City Ransom style games, the Nixetsu, I can't pronounce them. One of those, and I made that for him, and he sent me Adventure Island 3, which is pretty cool. Now I have all 3 Adventure Islands for the NES, and then Adventure Island 4 was a reproduction that I can go ahead and make myself. But it's pretty cool to have it. You know, I like the Adventure Island stuff. I want to get all the Wonder Boy stuff from the Master System too, because that's all based. It's all similar. It's all what it was. Is Adventure Island was a they bought like the engine, and it's basically, if you look at the first Wonder Boy, the first Adventure Island, they're like the same game with a few minor differences. But have one for the Master System, one's for the NES. I like the Adventure Island stuff. I still need Super Adventure Island 1 and 2. I want those. I still need them for my collection. So, and then there's also there's also New Adventure Island for the TurboGrafx, which I really want. Along with like there's a Ninja Gaiden for the TurboGrafx that's from Japan, but you need like the adapter. It's pretty cool too. And then they also remade it for the Japanese GameCube. They did Bonk's Adventure and Adventure Island, and I want those because I'd love to play the Bonk's Adventure. I love Bonk's Adventure, even though I'm missing Super Bonk and Bonk 2, Super Bonk 2. I have Bonk 1 and 2 on the TurboGrafx, but I don't have Bonk 3 because it's like a $200 game. Real expensive for the TurboGrafx. A lot of TurboGrafx stuff is real expensive. It's really hard to find it. Anytime I ever try to trade, nobody ever has any to trade. It's cool though. I want to go to. I've never found it at a swap meet. I've never found Master System, TurboGrafx, or any like things like 3DO. Any of those really odd systems, hard to find systems. I never find anything at the swap meet. I want to go to the swap meet one day and just see a TurboGrafx with a bunch of cool games, and the guy wants like $20 or something. So I'm gonna just pick it up, take it home, and cuddle it. I did get a TurboGrafx once from a Craigslist ad when I was going to Arizona to visit Asa the first time. I'm from Las Vegas. I mean, I spent half my life there, and I was going to go visit my dad and my sister at the time. And this guy looked at Craigslist ads, and I found a TurboGrafx guy wanted $50, but he had a bunch of other systems after I talked to him on the phone. And I told him what I was doing. I said I definitely want it. I said I do a show on YouTube, and if you don't believe, you know, I want you to know that I do want this, and I'm serious, and I'll send you money now to hold it for me, but I want it. And I ended up getting a Super Nintendo with games, with some good games on it. Like, one of the games was Shadowrun that I sold for $45. I had Genesis with some good games on it. I had PS2 with no games, and then I got a TurboGrafx with China Warrior. And it turned out that, and he sold me everything for $100, because he says, you know, it's going to go to a collector. And most of the stuff I kept. I only sold a couple things. I did take the TurboGrafx and I gave it to Freddie, because I got such a good deal. Because I sold a couple things on there to break even, but I kept everything except the TurboGrafx. I kept the Genesis, I kept the Super Nintendo. I sold a couple of the games that I didn't want, but most everything I still have. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I tried to play Shadowrun, I couldn't get into it. That's the only reason I sold it. And then I kept all the Genesis stuff. I kept everything. And it was a great deal, $100 for everything. It was one of those sweet deals. But yeah, Freddie got the TG16, and he's pretty happy with it. He just doesn't have a lot of games. So if you guys want to donate any games to Freddie, you know, let me know. I gave him a couple of my doubles, but he has like China Warriors, Sidearms, and something else. He just doesn't have any. He needs some TurboGrafx 16 games because he loves it. He plays it on his PSP all the time. So if you guys, you know, got any good deals on TurboGrafx, or if you guys want to donate something to him, you know, let me know. And poor Freddie. He might be changing jobs soon and coming back doing more episodes for the show. We're hoping. He's going to go back to college and straighten all that out, you know, and I'm hoping we're looking to do more swap meet stuff. I hope, because that was something we used to do every weekend, and I miss doing it because we haven't done it in a long time, like 9 months. We used to hit the swap meets out in Fresno and Selma and Visalia out here all the time, and we used to find such good stuff. That's how I found my Earthbound for $6. The guy wanted 8, and I talked him down to 6, and at the time, it's funny, I didn't realize how much it was worth. I thought it was like a $20 or $30 game because I just started getting into collecting again. And I got home and looked it up, and I was like, oh my god, and I saw one in the condition I had that day go for like $300. Even though I know it's lower now, it's like $150 to get a copy, but it was like really awesome to get it. But I still have it, and I don't want to ever sell. I love that game. I think it's so good. But yeah, it's pretty much that's what's going on with that. Oh, I'm also looking to do a podcast, and I've already got one YouTuber signed on with me. I'm not going to say his name yet. I'll probably say it next week after I talk to him and we get some more details nailed down. There's also a couple other guys I'm going to ask. They don't know who they are yet, but I'm going to ask them today, actually. And I'd like to get them in on it, and hopefully they'll say yes, and we can do a weekly podcast. And we're going to put the podcast on another channel, so it's going to be like the podcast channel. And then I'm also going to do I like to write. So I'm working on a couple RPG Maker games that I want to do. I want to do like a one with just their graphics and just do a solid story. And then there's this one, I started learning how to do take custom tile sets that I find and put them into RPG Maker VX Ace. It's really not that hard. I didn't realize that it was so easy, but once I learned how to do it, it's super simple, and I wish they would have just, I wish it was easier to find out, but I found out, finally. After months of trying to find the information, and then I finally found it just by luck. Excuse me. And I want to do that, so I got this game I want to do where I want to do a Batman and zombie apocalypse. I know zombies have been done, but I love the zombie thing. I think it's so cool. And the thing is, the team I'm going to be putting in there is Batman, Nightwing, Catwoman, and Killer Croc. That's going to be my team on this game, and I want to write it really well. I love to write. I used to write a lot. And then I'm also going to be working on a Legend of Dragoon 2 that I mentioned a while back, because Legend of Dragoon is my favorite game, and I've talked to another YouTuber. He's going to kind of help me with it. And Freddie will probably help me a little too. And then also, so I got those games I'm working on. I'm trying to learn to program. I want to learn how to do it. I want to learn to, I'm going to go and learn, BASIC. I got a book on doing like Game Maker. I want to learn some Game Maker stuff. I want to just learn a little bit of everything. I want to learn how to do actual programming for the NES. I think it's 6502 or 6205. I can't remember what it is, but it's a type of programming. But I basically want to learn, C++ and BASIC and all the different types of programming, so I'm not limited to one kind. I also got a book on Java, too, so I want to learn everything I can and just do what I can and just be the best type, all-around programmer so I can do whatever I feel like doing, because there's some games I want to do. And because I'd love to make Super NES games, and make carts for people. Original stuff. And so what else? So yeah, we're doing that. So I'm also thinking, I also want to do like short films. So I'm also going to be doing, not thinking about, but I'm going to be setting up a secondary channel. And it's going to be, and I also want to do writing, so I want to do short films on it, and I also want to do creepypastas. I watch Mr. Creepypasta a lot, and I like his horror stuff. I like to listen to it while I'm working on stuff at home. And I want to write my own creepypastas, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to take submissions from people, and I'll read them, and I'm going to try and do the best I can with it. So, it's pretty much it. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I feel pretty good. I've been walking a lot. My health is a lot better. So I try to make the best out of life. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Sorry if I talk too much, but I like to talk about stuff and just, it's the way it just is today, I guess. So anyway, guys, my name's Jason, and this is Video Game Corner, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.